speakers for today. Good evening, Vikram sir, and all the other participants. Before I begin with introducing our speakers, I'd like to give a disclaimer that this is one of the most important sessions. If you could have read the about, you could have get to know that this is about the video template that you'll be doing for demo day. And after this session is done, you'll be given an assignment on the thingQbator portal, and you'll be given 3 days time to work on it. And on 29th, you can book your slot for a detailed review one-on-one. So please pay attention to the entire session and get as much as inputs from our speakers as possible. So without a further ado, let me introduce our speakers for today. We have Vijeta Shastri sir and Vipul Saini. So Vijeta Shastri is a seasoned professional with over 28 years of expertise in navigating challenging assignments across diverse service industries, to name a few: hospitality, retail, travel, and co-working. Currently, he is working as an associate director at the Standard Chartered Bank. He formerly worked as an associate director at Dexter Capital, which is an investment bank specializing in growth stage companies. His specialization is in open innovation, marketing, strategic tie-ups, and business expansion. He's recognized for building new businesses, expanding networks, and enabling teams to perform at the highest levels. And he actively engages in volunteer activities, such as being an organizer at the TechStart Startup Weekend and a chapter lead for Tech in Asia Bangalore, and offers his valuable insights into the global startup ecosystem. And he is associated with thingQbator right from Cohort 1. So we welcome you, sir. Our second speaker is Vipul Saini, who is an accomplished professional with a proven track record of building international award-winning programs and innovative digital and physical products. He has over 10 years of progressive experience in conventional and digital marketing, product development, business strategy across diverse industries and countries. He currently serves as an assistant vice president at the HDFC Bank. His academic background includes a Master of Business Administration in International Business and Marketing from the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. He has also been recognized as a guest speaker for the Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, showcasing his expertise in the field. He also worked as a mentor for the entrepreneur ecosystem as a part of the eCell IIT Madras in 2018, and he is also associated with thingQbator from Cohort 1. So we hope both of you share your extensive experience and make it a valuable resource for all the rest participants here. Over to you both. Thank you.
Yukta, thank you so much. I felt so old with that introduction. I'm sorry. So, guys, the idea is that we want this to be an interactive session. I'm not as old as I sound, and Vijeta sir is also very young at heart. I think we believe that the interaction should be beneficial for you. So please, it would really benefit if we are candid with each other. If you have doubts, if you have concerns, please use the chat window, raise your hand, say that we have this question, we want to do that. The idea is we want to make this an informative session, but at the same time, because it's informative, it doesn't mean it can't be fun, right? So we want to make sure that, we utilize this 1 hour properly and we take it from there. So your thoughts on?
All good, Vipul. So it is now 6:11. So we'll keep it professional as well, buddy, because we want to add value. We want to make it fun. Totally agree with you. And at the same time, look, it is a competition. There are, I think, going to be 40 teams. And I think there's going to be a reveal from Vikram on the exact template of the 3-minute video that you have to prepare. So Vikram, I know that Vipul and me, we also want to know a little bit more about the team. So if some of you can volunteer and just say hi, tell us what is the problems that you're addressing, what is it that you're working on. It will be great if we can get a few of you people there. Then we'll do the reveal and then we'll come back to another lot. Volunteer so that we can move as quickly as possible. Does that make sense, Vipul?
Absolutely. So guys, please, the idea is let's help each other out, make sure this is useful. And we have Inshana who would like to go first.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Inchana. So my team name is Nutri Ninja. Our project name is. So here, what we do basically here is, when we did our research, actually the term Nutri Ninja just came into my mind, just seeing my younger cousin like who is very much into junk food. Because of that, he has so many health issues, is obese and is not physically active and is very lethargic. So what I got is, what input I got from him, like why is he not into healthy food, is because it's not attractive. We actually, what makes junk food better is the marketing style and the taste. So I feel, one of the post what I saw recently was, children in US are eating Tide pots, like the washing powder pots what we get. They're eating that because it looks attractive. That's what made me inspired to build a Nutri Ninja. We make healthy food, which is we our target user is from 6 to 9 years, and we target the people to eat healthy habits by incorporating collectives, themes and collectives, like adding Avengers covers outside the meal box, which attract them to collect those toys or the packaging. With our innovative packaging, we want to attract healthy meals for the kids.
Got it. Great, Chana. Thank you for taking the initiative. Great story. Deepika, would you like to go next?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So, good evening, sir. So the name of our startup is called as Experios. So, Experios is basically a platform for the urban youth to discover new experiences. So, what we've noticed that in our day-to-day rut of having milestones after milestones, we usually forget that there is more to life apart from climbing the corporate ladder or exams and things like that. And we usually forget that there's so much more for us to do, and we usually engage in activities such as just binge watching on Netflix or a really increased screen time. So Experios is partly a booking platform and partly a lifestyle app. That's basically our idea, and along with an incentive for the urban youth to step outside their comfort zone and to collaborate with peers on group activities and events that can be exciting for them. So that's basically the gist of Experios.
Perfect. Great. Thank you, Deepika. Thank you for that. Good idea. Would anybody else like to go next? Guys, please share. Being proactive is also a good sign of having faith in your ideas and taking the opportunity as an entrepreneur. Anybody else that's in the similar space, targeting the youth, targeting the youngsters? I think we can take one or two more. Okay, so let's do this. So going ahead, so what we can do is we can quickly share the guidelines so that we're on the same front. We'll try to share few examples around it because thanks to Deepika and Inchana, I have an idea also. What sort of examples we can share. Like for example, fresh menu and what we did with them. In the meantime, guys and girls, please, keep a quick sort of an idea ready about your product. Once you do the guidelines, if anybody would like to share, please do. It'll really help us make the suggestions more relevant to your business. So
Vikram, would you share? How do you want to do this?
Yeah, Yukta will be going to share screen.
Acha, ठीक है. And the request is that, of course, I'm assuming that you'll anyway share it on the WhatsApp groups, email, whatever.
Yes.
But if anyone wants to take screenshots so that it is, you'll only follow this template, okay? Because technically, if you'll go from 3 minutes to 3 minutes 1 second, then we'll have to say that this is rejected. So just be a little bit careful about this. But please take screenshots and be clear on this. And there won't be any deviation, okay? Please don't ask us questions. Can I take extra this thing? That will not be allowed because it has to be uniform, strict, and 3 minutes is 3 minutes, okay? So please go through this, yeah.
But can you close that window, the customize your stage view, if that's possible?
Are you telling me?
No, sir. I just want to make sure that everybody can see the screen if it's possible.
Yeah, because I think there are some things not pink stuff has come on top, no?
Ajay, you'll have to close that. Got it. So great. So guys, thank you once again, for getting on this call. Like as the team mentioned, this is a very critical stage in terms of building your visibility for your product. And the idea is that while we work on creating this video template, we will also be sharing ideas that will enable you to use these videos beyond the competition as well. So I hope you do take it seriously, and you do listen to our suggestions and some of the examples from the industry. Our idea is to make sure that you're very thorough and clear with the idea, the product, and the solution that you want to share with the VCs, with the judges, and the world, beyond that as well. So with that in mind, we'll quickly start with, what are the important parameters. So if you can go back to the previous slide, please. Can we go back to the previous slide, please? Yeah.
Is this the one you were talking about?
No, the one before this. The first slide. So while we get to the first slide, I think the key part here is that we need to make sure that the video is only for 3 minutes. Right? Please understand that these 3 minutes are sacrosanct. You'll not be allowed to go beyond 3 minutes. Even let's say if you're adding music to your video, and that music goes up to about 3 minutes and 10 seconds, that will not be allowed. So what we have to strive towards is making sure that we ideally end at about 2 minutes 55 seconds and keep about 5 seconds extra, where we will advise you to have a last page, which is your closer pager, to be visible there. Now what compromises the closer pager, we will get to the details of that, but please, ladies and gentlemen, remember 3 minutes means 3 minutes, and we have to share our idea within that duration at that time. No entries beyond 3 minutes, even if it is 3 minutes and 1 second, will be considered. They will be disqualified automatically. So please make sure that you have about 5 seconds left in the end before you do that. Great. So this is what we're going to start on, and the settings or the dates or the numbers that you see along with each header, those are the suggestive timings that we put together, right? So one, we very quickly want to know in the beginning of a presentation, the team name, the idea title, the college name, and the city. We wouldn't want you to spend too much time on it, because at this particular stage in this particular slide, it is very important to showcase who are your team members, how big is the team, who are the people who worked on the idea. The idea title is important, and ideally, if you can have a 1 lakh time, a sort of a one-liner right under that title that quickly shares what the idea is, that would be really helpful. So, for example, the I think Inchana was talking about making food exciting, right? So you can name what is the idea and just explain it in a one-liner under it. Maximum, I would say, about 5 to 6 words, not more than that. It should be simple, easy to grasp, easy to understand, and quick. Then you have your college name and city. But please try to make sure that you spend some attention on the idea title and the tagline describing it, because it is from this stage that people will start associating you with the idea that you're talking about. And the clearer this description from the beginning, the easier it is to understand what the product offers. Vijay sir, would you like to add anything on this point?
Yes, what I would suggest is, see, now this suggested, if you see in the brackets, 20 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute, 40 seconds, whatever is put in, right? But please understand this clearly. For example, if you can make the team name, idea title, college name, and city say 18 seconds, you're buying 2 extra seconds to go into, say, the very big ones. Your product demo video, which is like 1 minute, maybe you can make it 1 minute, 1 second. Okay. These are very, very small tips, right? But overall, you cannot go beyond 3 minutes. All right. Concentrate on what is going to give you the maximum weightage and maximum mileage and maximum scores. There are 40 of you. You want to be a winner. You guys have all put in so much of effort, but it's a tough world. But we want you to do really, really, really well. Okay. And please understand that there are some very important, every line and every word here is important. For example, it talks target market. In bracket, it is written Indian market size. So don't say like Africa market size, global market size, USA market size. Concentrate your research work and whatever the data insights you're putting on the Indian market size. If you're talking about go-to-market strategy, it is about go-to-market strategy for India. It is not about go-to-market strategy where I will crack Maldives or I'll crack GCC, whatever. Does that make sense, guys? I mean, no, I know it's already there, but we're still trying to emphasize on these things so that you all don't go, if you don't make sure that you all don't deviate from whatever you're supposed to do. Okay, perfect. And Vikram, if there is something else that we are saying wrong or you want to add, you or Yukta can always add. Okay, thanks.
Yep. And guys, please use thumbs up. If you're okay with understanding, what's on what we've explained. And again, if you have any queries at any point of time, please use the chat window. Great, thank you guys so much. Yeah, I like seeing those thumbs up. It makes me feel like it's an interactive session. Great, thank you guys. So the other suggestion on point number 1 is that, see, everybody is going to have a unique idea, right? So the way of presenting it should also be unique. Again, going back to what one of the teams had shared was that their focus is to target the younger audience again. So when you're talking about a younger audience, think of it from the perspective of how would you showcase your product or your idea to your TG, right, which is your target group. Make it peppy. Like if you're targeting a college, make it colorful, make it peppy. Address your crowd through the colors, the themes, and the text. Please do that because it will increase your visibility and provide a very unique approach to how you are sharing your idea. So the selection of the theme starts at this particular stage. Select a good theme, select colors that showcase your brand and your communication, and use text which is basically in line with your idea. Don't use peppy text for something very serious. Like for example, if you're working in the rural segment to developing something there, if you're doing something for the wellness, there be a little serious about the text that you use. Don't make it peppy. So that sort of a communication through colors, text, fonts, and voiceover is very, very important, right? So please be sure that you start focusing on that from the get-go. Secondly, please, I would advise everybody to note that on a video, light colors don't work very well. For example, if you're using text over a video, please make sure that you test out the visibility of the text. For example, in the past we have seen videos where the background was a little whitish in color. For example, somebody playing basketball on a basketball court, which is a lighter color. They are written with white text on it. Now the problem is that the white text tends to blend in with the background. So try to make sure that you're using the exact opposite color with respect to the video. This is very critical. A lot of people miss out on this because color combinations, will also share the energy that you have with your audiences. So please make sure that you're very clear on that. Secondly, do not make text very big, right? Or right in the center of the video, unless and until there's a specific need for it. You don't want your text to take the audience's attention away from the video that you're showing. Secondly, make sure when you write the text, it is clearly legible, so it has to be a little bigger in size. Please do not make it small. These are, yes, and so these are very critical, points where we are looking at, making sure that the video is easy to understand, pleasant to look at, and capturing the audience right away. Secondly, thirdly, like Vijeta sir just mentioned on the chat, please make sure that your background music is not too loud, or the background music that you plan to use on your video does not clash with your voiceover. Again, very important, please make a note of it. Last year also we saw a lot of people using good music, but it was too loud. It came in and made it difficult for the voiceover. It was contradictory. So please make sure that these are some of the sanity checks that you do. So that's the other point. The last thing I would like to say is that on the music front is please make the music relevant to your pitch. Again, like I talked about the fonts, the color, the sound and the music should be relevant to the audience you're pitching to and your target audience. I think everybody's smart enough to be able to understand that you'll not use music that is proprietary. So please do not refrain from using musics and sounds from movies and songs and stuff like that. Try to keep it generic. Try to keep it like as a background soothing sort of a thing that enables you to do or focus on your voiceover. Okay? Great, thank you. I saw the thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah. Now moving ahead from there, this is the most critical part, and we've actually got some really good feedback from Vikram that a lot of teams that are present here today have good stories to tell, inspirational stories to tell. Like the example of two startups earlier on, that you discussed about their idea. It's really cool because it means to show that you're invested in what you're building. So when it comes to the problem statement, the first thing you need to show is what is a problem that you're trying to solve. Right? Very, very clear. I would, appreciate if everybody could make a note of this. The first point is, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Second, how did you identify this problem statement? That's when your journey comes in, right? And after that, you talk about how are you solving this particular problem. So it's a very easy thing. So the problem you identified, how you identified it, and how are you solving it. This you have to look at doing in about 40 seconds. Guys, can we go back to the previous slides, the first one? Yeah, thank you. So this is where you actually start getting the attention of people. I think last year, we had a very interesting startup that was building solutions for getting wildlife away from the villages. Right? And they'd come up with a solution where they had speakers set up on poles. They were using a little bit of electricity. They were using Wi-Fi networks. And what used to happen was at any time, they identified an animal, or let's say like an elephant, coming closer to the fence. It used to blow out noise at a very high. So that's an interesting thing, right? I mean, not something that you see on a daily basis. So they said the problem is that because of wildlife entering farms, there's destruction of crops, and a lot of these animals also eat or steal from the farmers. So if they wanted to disrupt their pattern in a healthy way rather than harming either the farmer or the animal. And they said the inspiration was that they came from a village, and they said that we saw an elephant, he was stuck in a wire, it was an electric fence, it was trying to get electrocuted, trying to make its way. So while they had to push it away, they didn't feel right doing it to that animal. So that's how you join a story with the problem that you're trying to address. Vijanta sir, would you like to add any examples, any feedbacks on this particular stage?
Yeah, thank you so much once again, Vipul. So I think if you remember also the team roles, no, when you are taking your photograph or you're saying that this is the person who's going to do marketing, this is the person who's doing operations, whatever. The look and feel should be very professional, right? Avoid having very like your grooming, the kind of dress that you wear or whatever the headshot that you're going to use should be very, very professional, and it should be very clear in terms of the roles and responsibility, so that it's ultimately because you're showing professionalism. And then Vipul, you talked about storytelling. I think the permission that has been given now is that yes, you can tell stories, you can have examples, as long as you are using vernacular language or whatever it is, there should be English subtitles, and make sure that the translation comes correctly, okay? Because sometimes when a translation comes and you're seeing something else on screen, but a translation says something else, it defeats the very purpose of why you have to do that, right? So whoever will do the voiceover, and my recommendation is let one person do it, at the most two persons, because otherwise it will be too much of khichdi will happen. Let one person or two persons max to max do the voiceovers. There should not be any gap, and whoever is doing the voiceover should practice very well, because if you're using other vernacular language or whenever the subtitles comes, it has to come very, very, very clearly. Does it make sense? And please watch the subtitles. Huh? I mean, sometimes the translation is something else and you're seeing something else on screen. This I thought is an important factor.
Absolutely, sir. And so, as like you mentioned on the chat also, guys, it's a good idea to practice before you do the actual voiceover. See, later on, we'll also be sharing tools that you can use to record voiceovers and other tools that you can use for, modifying your video and editing your video. We'll share all of that. But practicing, when and which person from the team will speak and what they will speak before the recording is very important. We would not advise, like for example, if there's a team which has about 3 to 4 people, we won't advise everybody to speak. Either I think you guys should nominate somebody, who's good at speaking, or even if you're taking turns, please make sure it's not more than 1 or 2 people, or maximum about 3, not more than that, because the challenge is that everybody's voice is different, right? The speed at which they speak, the pronunciations, the sound, all of that matters. So if you're presenting a video, as I mentioned, the slides have to be in sync, the templates have to be in sync. Similarly, the voices also have to be in a little sync, because otherwise what happens is it feels like you're changing channels, and it distracts the audiences, into other things. So that's a very important point, Virpasar, like you rightly said. So please make a note of that also. Good idea. Good question, Shishir. You can use AI voice, but again, try to make sure that the AI voice is also consistent, right? So if you're using one format of the voice, please continue using the same format. Don't go from different pitches into different things. As long as it is clearly audible, consistent, it's good enough.
And Vipul, what happens is AI voice, no? Supposing the voice says something else, but the title, the subtitles or whatever says something else, and again you're in trouble. So I just want to emphasize, because we have seen so many videos now, all kinds of technologies being used, but the matching doesn't happen, and that creates a problem. Be careful, okay? Yeah, and one more aspect, Vipul. See, when we talk about this revenue or business model, there are a lot of models, right? Lean business, canvas, this, that, and all. Use something that will capture everything very properly. And this fund utilization plan is something very critical for the jury. Okay, do you all know how much money you are supposed to get? Do you all know, or you all have found out, or has it been revealed to them, Vikram? 5 lakhs, right? Correct.
5 lakhs.
So
Yeah.
now, how exactly are you going to use this 5 lakhs over, say, a period of time? Say, like first 30 days, we will do this. After that, 90-day plan or a 120-day plan, right? So that shows professionalism. That means you'll have shown that you'll have the ability to utilize and execute plans, and you know what the funds will be giving maximum mileage. Okay. Now, if you see, that is something that will give a lot of priority for you, and the jury slash mentors slash judges will respect you for it, saying that they're thought through. What are they going to do with the money? How will they utilize the funds? What is it that they're going to do to ultimately gain more and more customers? So having very clearly demonstrated go-to-market strategy, fund utilization plan, and knowing your target market and obviously the Indian market size will give you a lot of brownie points that will make you to reach the top. Okay. So if you have any doubts on it, ask. But otherwise, this is what you should be paying attention to. Thanks. Over to you, Vipul.
So one question I would like to ask: how many teams have already got the presentations ready, or PPTs ready for their solutions?
People, they will start working today onwards on this template. Yeah.
Got it. So that gives me an idea that you still have to figure out the script of what your video is and how to showcase your solution slash product and the USP. Now, see, this is the most critical part of the video segment where you actually show the demo, right? Now, let's say if you have examples of a live prototype of your product, it would be good to see that in action, right? Secondly, if you don't have a prototype that is ready, even if you have something that you have put together like a mock-up, like you've done like a prototyping or something like that you've done, if you can showcase that also, that is also very useful. In cases of products and solutions that are digital in nature, if you have videos of showcasing how that works, that is also useful. If you feel that your solution actually is so built into providing a solution to your customer, you can also show how your customer reacts to using your particular product. You can also showcase testimonials if your product is already ready and some of the customers have used it. Testimonial is a very, very strong aspect of, convincing the judges and, the investors and the other guys that, hey, your product's been in the market, people have tested and they like it, and you're hearing it right from the customer. So if that is possible, I think that's a power move if you guys can incorporate that. Now, with that being said, the idea is that the product demo video is different from solution and product showcase, right? Now, what I mean with that is that the solution and product would be like a one slider page where you quickly showcase your product or solution and share the advantages of using a product on one page. Whereas a product demo is, a pro demo video is your video of your solution or your product in practice. So I hope you can understand the difference between the two. So you're expecting two things here. Third, if you do have, factors that differentiate your idea or your solution, please mention them. They become your unique selling propositions. Now, before moving on to the next very important segment, does anybody have any questions in this for this particular thing? See, we are also aware that it might be new to some of the teams, and there is no harm in asking questions. If you have a concern, if you have a question, please raise your hand, or you can write it in the chat. We'll address it there itself. Any question, any doubts, please let us know. Any concerns also, if you have in your mind, please share. We'll be happy to resolve that. So while you're working on that, moving on to the next step, as Jeta sir rightly said, that you very clearly need to identify how will you utilize the fund of 5 lakhs that will be given. Now, while we will share examples, on the group and in the other places of how other people have done it, the basic idea is you talk about, are you going to use it in terms of hiring a team, in terms of building new technology, in terms of creating marketing campaigns, in terms if you already have marketing campaigns on different channels to promote it. Are you going to do outreaches? Are you going to make physical products to go out and reach out to people and give it to them? So whatever you're planning, right, has to be clearly defined and shown. One good way, a quick way to showcase this is using a pie model where you can, break up the pie, the 5 lakh pie into different segments and say, this is where this amount of money is going to be used. Very important, please don't miss out on this slide. Very critical, but at the same point of time, I wouldn't advise you spending more than about 15 seconds on this particular segment, right? The other very critical aspect, and it'll actually, so if I have to define the order for point number 3, it would basically be revenue business model, right? Your target market, then your fund utilization, and lastly, the go-to-market strategy, right? So in that particular order, if you're talking about revenue and business model, please be clear, as to how are you planning to make money from your idea or your particular business. If you have more sources of revenue, more sources of finances that your business or your idea enables to get, please mention those. The more, the better, and the happier the investor, right? Similarly, the happier the judges. So please make sure that you spend some time on this, think about it, and showcase, how you can put this together. Then comes your target market. Now, in terms of target market, like it's been mentioned, please only look at Indian market sizes. If you guys are finding it difficult to, identify where you can get stats and numbers from, please put it on the group. We'll try to help where we can. There are multiple use cases that are available. There's a lot of information available on certain websites. We are happy to share them with you, but you need to give us an idea for which business are you looking at and what exactly are you looking at from a market side, like what's your TG. That's your target audience. We'll try to help you to a best of our abilities with that. Now, fund utilization, I already spoke about it. In terms of go-to-market strategy, see, go-to-market strategy is important because eventually you need to be able to make revenue. Right? It's not just about building a product and then not going ahead with it. So you want to be able to understand how are you going to do that? Who will be your ideal partners? Who all will you engage with? How will you reach out to the customer? How will you first of all, identify them, get them to use your product, and then build traction with them to keep them onto your product, right? So these 3 things is something you need to understand and build into this particular slide. Vijay sir, would you like to add anything to this segment?
I think this is good, Chief. I think what matters is that they stick to the basics, all right? And see what we saw. I mean, we'll tell you what we saw in the previous few cohorts where things were not matching. They were not talking properly about a business model. They were not talking about a fund utilization plan. They were not focusing on this product demo video, because that part is so critical and so important. And I think, Vipul, if you don't mind, just go to the next slide, the one that talks about the the things to keep in mind, right? If someone can just show that, so that we link the two slides together. Okay. See, because I think if anyone wants, if any of you are using Hindi or English or Kannada or something, or some other languages, it's amazing. It will give you some brownie points. Your own story and inspiration, like how exactly are you going to go talk about that? Because I think, but remember, it is not just that you're talking just because I had one small problem but I'm solving this. This is because I realized that, like me, there are so many other people, there are so many other cities, there are so many other target segments, there are so many other people who will face this problem, and it requires solutions. And that's why we're asking for the funds, because we understand what to do and we know how to take this very unique product that we have got to the market, and we as a team understand our roles and responsibilities really, really well. And that's why we are the best team to bet on, and that's why you should give us this 5 lakhs, right? That's the messaging that you want to send across to the mentors and to the jury. So I'm just bringing the thread together, right? What exactly are you going to say? Okay, if it makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And Vipul, we just let this sync together. Okay, that let's start from the bottom, that Google Drive videos will not be accepted. It has to be on YouTube. And believe me on this, please don't tell us that I was struggling to load it on YouTube. Ye wo panga ho jayega. Avoid that, okay? And also, this is a very crucial point, okay? Fast forwarding video and audio content to meet the 3-minute deadline. That will destroy the video. It will destroy the very purpose of why you're creating such a beautiful template, or you're telling a story, right? Do not do that. Whatever happens, don't do that. Now the demo will be a 3-minute pre-recorded presentation followed by live Q&A. So if your video is not giving you conveying the right points to the jury panel, then again, the question and answer will be, oh, you didn't cover this, we didn't understand this point, and then you'll be struggling to answer. Okay. So just we again request you to be careful about that. And then there's also a thing, follow the video presentation template. It is there in front of you. Very critical, you should do that. And here they're allowing, you must have the English subtitles in the video pitch. Okay, don't forget about that, guys, because every point, every word, every line here is extremely critical. If you have any doubts, let's talk about it right now. Okay, it's 6:45. We are willing to give more time, but there should not be any doubts.
Yeah, thank you for those inputs. So guys, if you're not very comfortable in terms of loading a video presentation on YouTube, you can also go to YouTube itself and look at how to upload videos. They have multiple tutorials there that make it very easy for you to do that. But it's a very simple task. All you need to do is create an account, go to upload a video, and it lets you upload it. Make sure that it is marked as public video, not as a private video, because then nobody else other than you will be able to see it. Make sure you mark it as kid friendly, and you clearly define the headline and the description of your idea, so it is easy for us also to find it, and you also to find it during the time of the presentation, right? So that's one. Great. Thank you, Ashwin. If you have any doubts, if anybody has any concerns or doubts, please ask now. We know that a lot of people don't upload videos. We are happy to help out. Secondly, again, very important, do not present it in a portrait mode. So portrait mode is something that you do with your mobile phones, because it comes in that particular format. Landscape is, as you see, on the desktop. So please use that, right? And like Vedasa mentioned, please don't try to fast forward a video or not. See, you guys need to understand one thing very clearly, right? You've been given 3 minutes, right? You can easily put in all the information that is required, and you need to be able to use it as an opportunity to showcase your idea, right? Don't do discredit to your idea and your hard work by just skimming through it really fast. That does not help anyone. It is just, it's not there for marks. Like, you won't get any additional marks for it. Plus, people will lose traction and attention also, so it will not help anyone. So whatever we have in 3 minutes, let's put in our best. Let's make sure that it's clear, it's visible, it's not tacky, and it adds that right value, in terms of showcasing. So with that, I think we've covered all the points from the rules point of view and from the ideal template point of view. If anybody has any questions, if you'd like to share anything specific, if you guys have been thinking that, hey, I have a product service like this, how can I show it, on a video? Any concerns, any doubts, we are happy to, answer those questions. And yes, as Vedha sir said, please be very polite in front of the jury panel. Please do
Hello,
thank
sir.
them. Yes.
Sir, I couldn't understand the third point clearly. Include English subtitles. What does it mean?
Yeah, English subtitles is basically when you see a video, right? And you're not able to clearly understand what people are saying. Like, for example, if you use Netflix or YouTube, you have an option where you can see the captions under the video. So whatever you're saying or speaking, the same thing is written under the video. Right?
Yeah.
So what we'll also do is on the WhatsApp group that gets created for this, we'll also share a few videos that are using subtitles here. So you can see, how that works. Right? But thank you for asking that question. Any other questions, guys?
So
Yes,
is
please.
there any option from our side to get?
Sorry, Michelle, can you repeat that question, please?
I'm asking, is there any option for us to give accessibility in videos?
Accessibility, you mean when you're uploading it on YouTube, or accessibility, you mean the idea to be able to modify or change the video?
Accessibility for subtitles, English subtitles.
See, there is one thing that you can do, but it does not have the best effect. So you can let YouTube do the subtitles itself. But when you click on that option, it adds that script to your video. You'll have to go and manually change the script, right? Because at times what happens is that Google will listen to what is being said on the video, and at times it can't hear very clearly, or it will not make out some of the right words. So you will have to go and modify that. That again, there's a tutorial for it. I will share that also on the WhatsApp.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else, guys? Any questions?
And you all have understood about what Vipul said, right? It should be public so that we can view it and we can, know it. If you do it only for private, and none of us can see it. Just be careful about that. Okay? Yeah. Sorry, Vipul.
No problem, sir. Anybody else? Any questions? Please feel free to ask.
And there are no dumb questions, stupid questions, yeah? Huh? Because we must get it right.
Yes. And see, the idea is that every presentation, every idea will have that uniqueness. So if you have any questions that are very critical to you or comes up in your case, feel free to ask. I remember last time, sir, there was a startup that had an amazing pitch deck. Yes, Deepika, please go ahead.
So for the demo day video or the pitch, are we expected to showcase any initial revenue or user traction?
Do you have? If you have, yes, absolutely, that would be helpful.
Okay.
So that's what I mentioned, that if anybody has already got to the market, or if they've already got a few customers and they can show what the traction has been like with the customer, or they can even get a testimonial from the customer, they can show that, or they can show the reaction of a customer using their product or service, that will have additional bonus points, because you're actually showing a working solution in place. So you will definitely get more weightage from the jury and the other people as well. So
thank you, sir.
any other question, guys? Anything? See, and with all of these rules being said, we would also encourage you to be, a little more creative in your approach to making the video. Get your own flair into it, but as long as it's, in those particular, parameters. Like I was just, telling sir about, reminding about the one of the startups that we had on last year. These guys had a fantastic go-to market strategy, but they had so much of information that got drowned, right? So we had to spend time with them to make sure that it gets smaller and to the point. right? There are no points for writing essays in the video. If you can, please mention things in point forms. The showcase numbers and figures, very, very important. They add a lot of value. They add a lot of weightage. So if you can do that, that would be really helpful. Any thoughts that inside?
Sir, we have submitted 2 videos unlisted. So this video we have to submit in unlisted mode or public mode.
As long as we have access to it. If you're not able to see it, to go through it and check whether it's within that 3 minutes and everything is covered, that's what you have to do.
So if we are sharing unlisted link, so you will be able to see it.
Yeah. Then we'll be able to see it. If you do it like private or something, we can't see it. And I'm answering Shishir also. Yeah, testimonials in native language also will be good. But please understand that English subtitles must be there. Otherwise, a person is giving a great testimonial in, say, Bhojpuri or something. Now the jury doesn't understand Bhojpuri, no? So there must, if you're giving in vernacular, but there must be English subtitles. Okay, clear, Shishir, on that? Yeah. The English subtitles are extremely critical and it has to match properly. Yeah? I mean, please be careful on that. Anyway, Vipul will share more tools that you all can go through, but it's not an excuse. These are all easily findable tools on Google or wherever else. Okay. Has anyone started thinking about the video, or you all were, I mean, how exactly you're going to do it? Has anyone gone and checked out the previous cohorts winners? Because many of these videos are still there up there in on YouTube. You can check all those things also. How well they did it, how they made sure that they're within the 3-minute timeline, etc., etc. Okay. And we know it is a holiday weekend. We know it is Republic Day, Saturday, Sunday, but this is a golden opportunity for you all to put in tremendous effort and do really well. Okay. I mean, we want to see you doing well.
Can I speak, sir?
Of course, you may speak.
Sir, I have a doubt. Like, this is our first time we'll be doing our business model and, showing our revenue and everything. Do you have any tips on, how to make our business model more precise or, help us to gain the jury's attention here?
Yeah, so you want to gain the attention in the right way. So if you're in front of your screen, just look for business model canvas. Okay, search for there are many very good templates for business model canvas. Okay, guys, those who still don't know about it, I just type it here and you'll get a model, right? Where it'll talk about who's your target customer, who's your target audience, how are you going to reach them, what are the segments, how will you reach, what is your revenue model, how will you make money, what is your strength, what is your moat, what is your USP, all that will be shared. Okay. So has anyone taken a look at it, business model canvas?
Yes, sir, we have done this before. Like, I was asking whether something else we can do for this video.
No. Stick to see, because this is what everyone is comfortable with. Okay. People understand what is business model canvas. So maybe it's better that you use that rather than trying too many things. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I will just give you all some inputs, which I can, if you want, I can, share. Right. Again, this is strictly on not everything you will be able to do. Okay. So for example, I've just given you one thing about the team. I've just typed it out on, I hope you can capture all this and put onto your WhatsApp group also, because so that everyone gets it, and even those who don't were not able to join, will someone take a responsibility of that? See, for example, I've written over here, right, for team, like, do you have a partner? Do you have some advisors? Are you taking any mentorship from any professor? Why are you the best suited team? Why are you different from the competition? And how well can you show that you know how to execute and achieve milestones? It's just a suggestion. Okay. This is like, we understand that you all are students, we understand that you all are youngsters and all that, but supposing you'll have to give a very good example of why you all are the best team. Okay, then I'm giving you some more templates on solution. I hope this is going to be useful for you all. So see, in your solution, we say like, how exactly is your solution addressing the problem? What will be the impact? Why is your solution so different and so unique? And what we mean by moat means that no one else can do all this. You all are very capable and big market, right? Remember, there's a very important aspect. How big is the target market in India? So how big is the market is something that if you can talk about, then your solution is viable. There is a big problem. You all have the great teams. You all have ability to execute. You all know what to do with money. You all have figured out what will be the impact. Why your solution is unique and it's not just one more solution, one more B2 solution. Okay, makes sense, guys. And the other request, of course, we will have is that please make sure it will share this and be ready. And okay, for you guys, I'm just putting a thing about a video template also. Okay, video inputs. I'm just putting something out. Vipul, I just want to check that everyone can see this, right?
Yes, sir. We've covered everything, and again,
Yeah. I'm just putting it in writing so that you know. So like if things like what's your memory hook? What is so great about your story? Do not end suddenly. Yeah, this is one more thing. Just because you have a 3-minute deadline, you suddenly stop the everything, and everybody wondering, "Arey, what happened?" Okay, and I think Vipul has covered this. I'm again repeating it. Please use large fonts which are clearly visible. All right, and use captions where possible. Use images because images tell a better story. And yeah, these are some of the things.
yeah,
Have we missed out
infographics.
anything, Vipul?
Yes, sir, I think
Yeah,
that's
infographics.
perfect. Infographics, wherever you can use smart art, please use that. Again, we'll be sharing a few samples so that you can get an idea of how it works. But finally, I think from my side on a parting note is, guys, be very passionate about what you're doing, and try to see if you can get that passion out into the video. It's very, very important to own it up. Okay? Be confident, talk about what you have to do. It's a great platform to showcase your idea and take charge of what you want to build in the future. So please, please, please use that. This is Don't consider this as a task. Consider this as an opportunity to do something. And I think the last bit I would like to say is that a lot of startups that made videos last year, they actually use those videos later on as well. I got a few feedback from these guys, and they were so excited that people were reaching out to them and saying, "Hey, great idea, great video, great product showcase." So I was very happy that people utilize that video outside, after the competition as well. So that is very important. Please, please do consider that.
Vikram, anything else that we should be talking about? Is there something very critical that we have not missed or we should emphasize on?
I guess we have covered everything, but there is a one question that is coming to my mind. So I just wanted to get clarification if you can help. What if the students they are trying to put the subtitles and that is not matching with the actual sound? So how they can correct it? Do you know any tips?
Vipul has some tools are there. No, Vipul, you are mentioning that. See, but that's why also it's yeah. Okay. But at the same time, Vikram, that is why it's important that whoever is going to do the voiceover, must practice. They have to be very clear in their pronunciation and all that. Okay. Otherwise, it's good to.
Sure.
I mean, yeah. Just be careful. You have to be careful, and also vernacular. Some are saying we'll get testimonials in vernacular. So now, what if Google or YouTube rather doesn't understand that properly? So we have to be careful with that. It is a problem. I mean, you're allowing this, so it's great. I think that's amazing. But the matching here was both panga.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Generally, from an Indian audience perspective, we have a lot of problem with our S's. So S's is always a problem when we're speaking the word versus when you're writing it. I would say as long as the written part is very clear, a little bit of mispronunciation is okay, right? Because that's the intention of having the subtitle. So, but yes, the subtitle should not have mistakes. You have to pay a lot of attention to the subtitle. Please don't make any mistakes there. Right? Voiceover, we understand. People have different ways of talking. They have different linguistic challenges. That's okay. And that's the reason why we have the subtitles. So that is something. Or use an AI if you're not comfortable. We can always do that also.
Yeah, sure. But just a follow-up question. I guess OTT platforms, they are able to capture a perfect subtitle compared to the YouTube. Uh, I'm
Yeah.
I'm just assuming might be they will be using some other technique, and maybe our student, they will be not having that kind of exposure to use that much technology to embed in their pitch video. I think there will be some challenges. I think we will see. We will be able to avoid how much is possible. Yeah.
No, very, very relevant point, Vikramji. I totally agree. So the reason that I mentioned that solution on YouTube is because they're anyways uploading videos on YouTube. So what happens is that when you allow YouTube to make the subtitles, it gives you a complete script, and you can go to that script and then edit the script. So for example, if you wanted to say product and it came out as prod, so you can go back and edit it on YouTube itself in the text that it's not prod, it's product.
Okay.
So
Fine.
those changes are possible. But Haji, what you also mentioned is good because the timing of the text is perfect on Netflix and other. It might not be the same case on YouTube. So that's why when you have to speak a little slowly. If you speak fast, very difficult to match the subtitles with the voice.
Yes, Vipul, yeah. So that is the input actually our team needs to work, that they have to speak in their own tone, and just not to maintain their voiceover within the timeline of 3 minutes. So just please rehearse as much as possible before you actually recording the video. Yeah.
But again, a good point. I think you can actually use the speed of the subtitle as a benchmark. So don't speak faster, don't speak slower. Speak at the pace of how the subtitles are coming. It'll come with one or two practices, when you're uploading it, but you will have to do that, to make sure that your video is perfect.
Yeah, that's sure. So any participant, if you have any more questions, if you are not able to unmute, maybe you can drop in the chat box. Maybe you can raise your hand. We have a button also where you can react how you like about this session. Do you have any more expectation? So please let us know. If we are good, Vijeta and Vipul, do you have to share any examples during this call, or we will be going to share it separately on WhatsApp group?
See, we don't want to burden them with too much of information. Okay, because this is not because see, Vikram, you are given a very strict template. We give them some other template or thing, then it's an exam, no, but it's an open book exam. So let them concentrate on this. Only the request that we have is they only look at how you have given that. I think you have done a beautiful job with those 2 slides. Okay, and we are also looking at the fact that after the video is played, they will also need some understanding of how to handle jury questions. So I have put all those things also down, right? Thanking them, give a very nice, interaction, smile, appreciate them, don't argue. So we're looking at 3 things. One is preparing the video well, making sure that they follow the principles and guidelines that has been set by you guys. And I think it's a very fair guideline, making sure that they don't fumble on that. And the third thing is that we also make sure that when they're after the video is played, are they able to handle any questions that will come from the jury? So we look at these 3 angles, and we are available, Vikram. You know that we are very proactive in answering back on them.
So Vikram, one question that I have, like Javed just asked on the chat that if you can recommend any free video editing softwares. See, I can, but the problem is that if you're using freemium softwares, there will be a watermark. Vikram, are we allowed to have watermarks in the video, or we have to make sure that there are no watermarks?
That I can check with my team if we can allow them to a paid subscription, and if we have a budget, definitely we can give them the service. But we will try to avoid the watermark. Yeah, definitely.
Got it.
We need the quality pitch.
Got it. So in that case, Vikram, I'll share those, editing tools with you, and you can then, recommend that to everybody else.
Definitely, yeah, sure, yeah.
Then the next question that we have is for the revenue model. Do we need to share numbers of the future revenue? See, ideally, Rishad, yes, because that would mean you have to showcase a projection of how you anticipate the future business to grow. So if you have a fundamental business model in mind and you have an idea of how the revenue will generate from that and how it will scale, it would be really good to have. See, nothing gets, judges, juries, investors more excited about, backing an idea, when they realize that the founders know the numbers will well, right? And they have good clarity, on how to proceed forward. So if you have that, please by all means try to show that, but back it up with, a very strong concept or a hypothesis in mind, right? It should not be randomly generated numbers, is what I would say. Great. Good question, guys. Good questions. These are important ones. Like, for example, what Javed asked, that's a very important question. I had forgotten about it. Any other queries, any other questions, please feel free to ask. Sneha, do you have a question?
Sir, in total written at the 25 new sessions, so we have to complete within 4 days.
Yes, Amisha. Within these 3 days, you are supposed to work on the video pitch, and we will get it review on Monday.
Okay, sir.
Huh.
So, but the final submission would be on Feb 9th, right? This is just like a mock pitch, if I'm not wrong.
No, that is not the final submission. You are supposed to present on 9th February, same
Right.
video. So
Right,
better
right.
to start as early as possible so that you will get maximum time to rework if there is
Yes,
any
sir. Understood.
input needed. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Understood. Thank you so much. Thank you.
But again,
Yeah,
guys, one word of suggestion. Please try to, when you share the videos after 4 days, please try to do as much work as possible because, that's when the major changes come in and that's when we can really add value in terms of giving you very specific advices, right? So please make sure that you spend time on that. Sorry, Vijay, so you were saying.
I'm saying it's always been that tight a deadline for the other cohorts also. So don't feel that you'll have it's been forced upon you that it's such a tight deadline. Okay, just work on it with calmness and as a team. Okay, that's what I was going to say. It has always been like that because we have been doing this for last so many years, no, 4, 5 cohorts now. It's always the same.
Sir, just to clarify, the review sessions are for helping us improve our pitch and to get feedback, right? They don't count for any of the scoring.
Yeah, they don't count for the scoring. So if you guys, have ideas that you want to experiment with, please go ahead and do. If you want to, be a little more creative, you can do that. We'll give you feedback on that. And if you want to test out different ways of presenting, please go ahead and do that. You have all the liberty to do that, and we'll be there to help you out. So don't worry about it. And that message goes out to everyone. Please don't worry about it. You're doing it for the first time, or you might be, really good at doing it, but you would want to, experiment with a few ideas. Please go ahead and do that. We are here to help you out after that.
Yes, sir, thanks.
So here we are here as a resource. We are here to help you to get to your, the best possible 3-minute video, and you capture all that is necessary and important, so that when you go in front of the jury and the jury sees the video, obviously they will look at it. Oh, that okay, are these guys understanding what is target market? Do they understand that what is their solution and how it will make a difference? Is the team slide beautifully done? When they ask for this 5 lakhs, do they have a clarity of what they will do with the 5 lakhs? Right? So this is how they will decide whether you are serious, how good you are, and how well you are prepared. Does that make sense to you guys? So the video is like a showcase for you. It's not about scoring by us, but we will make sure that you're within those timelines and you've captured everything. So just open textbook, right? There are criteria listed on. Please follow those criteria. Okay.
Great. Any more questions, guys? So I think we're good to go, and we will look forward to the submissions. In the meantime, the WhatsApp group that gets created, please ask questions. Please proactively ask questions if you have any doubts. We'll try to share relevant resources with you so that it's easier for you guys also to start working on it. But please, utilize this as much as possible. So
Yeah. So we are good to drop now, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for all your inputs. Really appreciate it.
One thing, guys, I think Javed has a question to Vikram.
I will check and I will reach out to you separately on this, Javed. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a productive weekend ahead. Enjoy. Best of luck. Look to talk to you soon. Vesa sir, thank you so much for your time as well.
Always welcome, everyone. All the best. Please take care of yourselves. Bye.
Thank you so much for your input, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Look after yourselves.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care. Thanks, Vikram. Thanks, Vipul.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.